All right, everyone, and welcome to the Red Sea Road podcast and or video. What would you call that? A vlog, maybe?
Probably combination.
I don't know.
All of the above.
Anyway, welcome. We invite you to follow us down the Red Sea Road as we investigate the things in the Bible that you probably had never heard of before. And of course, we question left and right, right?
Absolutely.
To my right is Miss Liz Landis. She is Charity's chief cook and bottle washer. And sits behind the front desk. She makes sure everybody's fed. The coffee's all there. She's a decorator. She does all kinds of wonderful things for Charity Lutheran Church in Bismarck. And then this is Pastor Sam Coleman, who is a pastor here at the church.
I'm always interested in how, I'm always interested in how Sue is going to actually introduce you. You know, isn't that
kind of scary, right?
Yeah. So like, what is she going to say?
You never know what's going to come out of her mouth.
And I'm Sue. I have been a member of this organization since about 1983, which makes me the matriarch of this whole organization.
You've been here almost all 40 years.
I have indeed. And it's been quite a ride. There's
ups and
been
downs.
Ups and downs and good times and bad times. And but always return here. I have always told people that whenever I need to feel loved, I will come into this church because everybody here from the very first day has always just loved me for me. And that's a hard thing to find. Somebody who loves you just as crazy or just as sober as you are. I mean,
loves you just for you.
Just for me. And that is the one thing I can say about this community. I'm actually expecting some of the elders of the community that actually mentored me when I was a young mother and when I went through my divorce and all this have moved on to, be closer to their kids or, it's been a year of change around here. So I feel like they're gone. Now I have to replace that generation in the church, like we all kind of have to step up a generation. That would include you too, because you're not as young as you used to be.
I think that our last episode, we talked about just feeling young for forever. And I'm pretty sure that I'm still like 16, 17 or 18. Yeah,
that's right. We did. And I am so tickled pink because I actually had, there are a couple people in my life that just keep they're my fans, they're my biggest fans. And one is a young man. He's probably in his 40s, so that doesn't make him too young. But I'm old enough to be his mom, and he calls me and checks up on me all the time.
That's awesome.
It's super cool. And he goes, "You're just so vibrant for your age. Nobody would be doing what you're doing at your age." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm good. I look good for 95, don't I?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So in today's episode, we want you to take your sandals off and sit in the side of the road in the nice green grass of some other place and time, because our grass is still brown. And
for a while.
Join us as we talk a little bit about some family Christmas traditions.
Yeah, family favorites.
I've heard all about Sam. So let's start with Liz.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some Liz's too.
What do you guys do for Christmas that you've done every year since you were a child?
Oh, well, that changes. Mainly be together. Be together as family.
Is that going to happen with COVID this year?
Yeah, for part of it. Yeah, we won't have everybody together, so we've become the traveling parents. So we go wherever. So
here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah. Because we have some in Fargo and then here in Bismarck, Mandan. So, we get an invite. Hey, yeah, we'll come.
All right.
Yeah, but
do you come bearing gifts?
Oh, yeah, always. By the time we get our gifts unloaded, they're already eating dinner. So
you guys like giving gifts? You love giving gifts?
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You have grandkids, right?
Oh, yeah. We have 8. And I can't spill the beans. Well, okay, I already did. Yeah.
You have 7 and 1 on the way as well.
No, we have 8 and
1 on the way.
1 on the way. Yeah.
So
she had to think about it. Yeah.
It's the tiebreaker for what I've been told. So they're not going to find out what it is. So
okay.
they're.
You mean you have 4 of each, like 4 boys and 4 girls?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, we had 2 this year. So
that is super
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
My brother and his wife are expecting their first grandchildren. Their son's wife and their daughter are like 3 weeks apart. And so they're sad because with this COVID thing, they don't want to travel so much. You know, everybody's being like really cautious. I went down to see them, and they were sitting across from me, and they were wearing masks, and I'm like, this isn't fair. Like, don't do this. It's so hard to hear what people are saying.
Through those
So,
masks.
Yeah. It
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
But they're being very careful so that they don't, you know, so that they can see these grandkids someday. So I'm excited for them. But God, 9. Jeez.
Yeah.
You don't have any yet, do you?
No grandkids. No.
He's got a
But
little
your
bit of
mother
time.
is
Right,
making
yeah,
up
yeah,
for
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Your kids are just little. They're,
Right. Yeah.
But your family, you guys, your mom has like 18, right?
Right. 18, 12 and under. So,
Holy
yeah.
no.
So it's crazy. Our Thanksgiving was crazy.
noisy.
Noisy.
Yeah.
And, you
Does
know,
anybody have a house big enough for all you guys?
well, it's really nice because we all, for like Christmas and Thanksgiving, like we all go over to my mom's house and we're all over there. And my brother, he lives right across the street. So he'll usually go home to his own house. But then other than that, like almost everybody sleeps over at my mom's house. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's kids everywhere. You know, at any given moment, there's probably never a moment where there's not one kid crying. Or, you know, something like that, or a fighting or whatever. But
You guys operate better on no sleep than I do. I
Well-
am not good without sleep. I can tell you that right now. Not good at all.
But yeah. Anyways, like one of our Christmas traditions that is kind of funny that we do every single
Not the candle salad.
the candle salad. Yeah.
Oh, I googled that, and I don't know if
I hope your mom's
Listeners
not
to
listening.
Google this.
yeah.
Okay, Sam, you got the floor.
Yeah, I got your candle
Okay,
salad.
tell us all about it, Sam.
Right, yeah,
I'm
well,
just dying to know.
It's this Christmas tradition that we have and that we've always had. Like my grandmother did it with her family, and we didn't even notice anything odd about this candle salad until we started to bring brothers and sisters-in-law into the family, and they're like. They kind of looked at this candle salad, and you can Google this. It's really funny. But anyways, they started.
Really?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean there's a recipe?
yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres featured it on one of her shows.
No
she's like,
way.
she's like, they actually make candle salad. And anyway, so until that happened, we didn't think there was anything odd about it. But now we all just laugh. Like, it's just funny.
Holy bananas. No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It wouldn't be so bad, but there's a cherry on the top.
Yeah.
Jono and Sue are both over there Googling candle salad.
See, you guys think you're going to initiate us in, but I went and I googled it, and then I
There's
went,
one that is a
whoa.
little more mellow than the one that you described.
So we are having like a staff get together next week, and I'm bringing candle salad for all the staff.
Of course you are. Right there. There we go.
Yeah.
It's a retro
So
recipe.
now everybody online, everybody that's watching this is now going to Google candle salad.
And you have to go to thekitchen.com because this one is a retro recipe to make you blush.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you got to remember, this had to have come out come out of the late 40s or 50s. And when I worked in the restaurant when I was in high school, a salad that you could order with your meal would be a scoop of cottage cheese with some fruit
Peaches on top?
cocktail or peaches or something. That was
yeah.
considered a salad back then, not like today's arugula and kale and cranberry and walnut type things.
Right,
But
yeah.
this was considered a salad. So I bet every housewife in America has made a candle salad at one
Yeah.
time or other if they're of a certain age.
I'll have to go through all my old cookbooks and start
These
looking
pictures
through
is
that.
better on the
Is there
garden.
candle
Start
salad
looking
in
at the
here?
candle
I have
salad.
a few of those old ones, I collect those babies, so it's like, okay, you find the funniest things in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where women are supposed to oh, well, this is how it was at our house when we went. I thought everybody had the same two sets of grandparents growing up because I had a set of double cousins. And so we would all be at my grandma Caseman's house, and then we'd all be at Grandma Meininger's house. And we ate the same thing every year. But the first time I brought my husband with me, he's like, let's go eat. I'm like, no, you go eat. What are you talking about? I'm like, you go eat because the women will wait on the men, and then we will eat, and with the children, and then we will do the dishes while you guys are whatever you're doing, smoking cigars and drinking whiskey. I don't know, watching football maybe.
Bourbon, yeah.
But yeah, we never ate all at the same table growing up. The women always ate after the men were served.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Wow.
interesting. Huh. That must have been kind of like a German heritage kind of thing, huh?
Or just maybe that generation or something.
That's just how it was done.
And another thing, and I just saw this. I think my phone listens to me talk.
It does.
Oh, it does.
Because-
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day about, I was talking on the radio, on my radio program, about how I remember my grandparents, they would pour their coffee into their saucer and they would sip that way.
Oh.
And then on Facebook, something shows up the other day about how this generation used to sip coffee from saucers, and you should try this, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was kind of disgusting.
You stick your gum on the
Yeah.
side, or you
to
take your
sip
teeth out. I don't know.
You know, it was noisy kind
Yeah.
of thing, and I think they did it to cool their coffee off.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys heard about the guy that he was walking through his house and he was carrying a shotgun one day, and his wife is like, "What in the world are you doing? Like, why do you have the gun?" And this guy, he's like, I absolutely know that they're listening to me. Like, they are listening to us right now. They're, the government, the big brother, like, they're listening to us. And his wife laughs and he kind of chuckles. And then Alexa over in the corner, she starts laughing and he shoots her.
Hey, I did an interview with somebody once, and when we sat down at his kitchen table, he actually took a blanket, I don't know if it was lead lined or not, and covered the radio up, turned the TV off so we could start talking about, he was building like
What kind of conversations were you talking
Well,
about?
it
there,
was.
Sue?
I was interviewing him. He had an old barn, and instead of re-roofing his barn, he put polycarbonate up there, and then brought loads and loads of dirt up there in small swimming pools, and started a greenhouse up in the hayloft in this old barn.
Really?
And I thought, well, that's a cool idea. But he also had these great big old granaries, those
Okay.
silver.
Oh,
Is that what
yeah.
they're called?
Silos.
Right.
And he was building a 9-story shelter, let's say, and it was cool. Like, I've seen people turn grain bins into houses, but this thing was like super high, and he had the floors all in there, and it was all circular with staircases and stuff. It was super cool, but apparently he didn't want me talking about it on the radio.
Now you just slipped
I
up.
just outed him
You
as a
just outed-
prepper,
Yeah.
of which is near and dear to my heart, by the way.
So did you guys, like, growing up, did you guys sing like the same carols like every single year? Or I mean, what is like the most meaningful thing of Christmas for you?
You go first. I got a tearjerker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Silent Night.
That's always the
Yeah. That's when you feel the love of Christ, the love of God around you.
And
Yeah.
everybody sang it.
Yeah, and everybody sang. Everybody knew the words too.
Right. Which
Yeah.
I think is probably, John, can you like look us up the words of Silent Night for us?
You don't know the words? Sam?
Old,
Well, I know some of them,
Old
but
Holy Night is another one, sung by Ernie.
Celine Dion sings a really good Old
No, this
Holy
is
Night.
an old dude that sings Old Holy Night, and I don't
Tennessee
remember.
Ernie Ford.
Yeah, that guy.
Tennessee Ernie Ford.
was just phenomenal, and that was like a really meaningful song.
I think at the end of this episode, you know what I think would be really cool?
Oh no, we're not going to sing
Yeah,
Silent
let's
Night.
all
No,
sing
we're not
Silent
gonna
Night
sing
together.
Silent Night.
No, no.
Out of time for today, folks.
Yep.
It's over.
Hasta la vista.
It's Stille Nacht.
John is turning me down.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Light is off. Yeah.
If you do want to,
he's like, I'm shutting this down now.
So let me ask you this: did your family? Were there any piano players in your family?
No musical instruments whatsoever.
So you didn't like get together as a family and sing?
No.
Okay, so I'll bet you guys did.
We did. Yep.
Okay, and you do a little Christmas program?
Yep, we do.
Okay, so one year, my family, my mother's family was very musical. They could pick up her brothers, and one of her brothers was the accordion player, designated accordion player in Wishick. And I know you play accordion too, but you couldn't
Right.
hold a candle to this guy.
Probably not.
like he
Yeah.
was good. And every time somebody had to play accordion, he was asked to play. Even the Lewis and Clark event up here, he was the accordion player for the little Chautauqua thing that they did.
I better get this guy's name.
So Ellen.
Okay.
Edgar. They were twins. Edgar and Ellen were twins. My mom had twin brothers and I have twin brothers. But anyway, so our family wasn't like my dad's family was like really gruff and grumbly, and there wasn't no music in that household at all that I can ever remember. But there was one year where there were several divorces and several people died in the family. And we would always get together with the local cousins over at my Aunt Alice's house in Bismarck, Uncle Ed and Alice. And they would invite whoever was living in Bismarck, so there was just a handful of us and maybe another uncle from Wishick. Oh, yes, because my Aunt Laverna played piano in the church, St. Luke's Lutheran, for her whole life, I think. And she still is, even though she's trying to retire right now because she must be in her 80s. But it was like, I actually wrote a story and put it into a Christmas card for the next year about how this family came together and they were so sad that year. It was just so like there was this cloud hanging over everybody. And I don't know whose idea it was, but I probably would know if I thought real hard to go downstairs, and maybe it was Aunt Alice herself. And my Aunt Laverna played the piano, and we as a family, the family with no musical background or no sense of humor, sang Christmas songs. And it was the most amazing and magical Christmas I have ever experienced in my life. And I started that story off with a sentence that was something like, they had no idea that there was an angel watching over them that night to get them through this Christmas. I mean, it was so cool. And then, of course, a couple years later, after everybody had read the story, then one of my other cousins like, let's do it again. And I said, no, it just wouldn't be the same.
Right.
There was something about that night that we all needed to do this.
Right.
So that's the magic of Christmas in my mind.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I have a poem that I would always read that I still like now, like whenever we have Christmas, even with just our family, like I always read this poem. So I'm gonna read this poem to you because I think that it's just such a cool.
Is it more than 4 pentameters long?
I don't even know what a pentameter is, but
I don't think I do either. I know it's a rhythmic thing.
But I'll read this to you. And this is a poem that my mom would always have me read at Christmas, and it's called Somebody's Mother. And it says this: the woman was old and ragged and gray and bent with the chill of a winter's day. The streets were white with the recent snow, and the woman's feet were aged and slow. At the crowded crossing she waited long, jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. Past the woman so old and gray, hastened the children on their way. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir, lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should trample her down in the slippery street. At last came one of the merry troop, the gayest boy of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, I'll help you across if you wish to go. Her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm, he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. She's somebody's mother, boys, for all she's aged and poor and slow. And someone sometime may lend a hand to help my mother, you understand, if ever she's old and poor and gray, and her own dear boy so far away. And somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God be kind to that noble boy who is somebody's son and pride and joy.
I know, tearjerker.
Yeah.
But isn't that
I looked over at Liz.
she's crying, isn't she? But that is like such a key thing that everybody should park in their heads at all times. You never know what somebody is going through.
Right.
But they're somebody's mother.
Yeah.
They're somebody's father.
Somebody's friend, somebody's child. Yeah.
There's somebody, and we should treat everybody with that kind of respect. And I think that like right now is so critical.
Yeah.
There's so many overworked people right now because of this COVID thing that you can't, I see people treating each other harshly, and okay, so I actually went into a store I was in Beulah this past week working, and I went into a store because the woman that I helped out, her son had surgery. She's got a birthday coming up, and I thought, I want to do something nice for her because she is there for me. She's got my back.
Right.
And I came to help her, and she ended up helping me, and I was so grateful. And I thought, I'm going to do something nice for her birthday. And so I went into this store, and I was going to give her cash, but her friend said no because she spent it on her kid.
Right.
So I went in to get a gift certificate, and this gal was kind of like, oh, we don't have any gift cards left. I'm going to have to do this online. It's going to take a few minutes. And she ended up giving me $10 more than what I actually gave her in a gift certificate. So I'm like, look at how one kindness makes for another kindness kind of thing. So we want you to remember that this Christmas. I think I have declared officially 2021 as a year of generosity. That is the year
Amen.
for everyone.
Amen.
So where do you think you're going?
I got a cruise.
You can't go. You can't leave us.
Oh, he can.
Are we about ready? Are we at
Yeah, about 5 minutes left.
5 minutes? Do we have to do 5 more minutes?
We
I
don't
was
have
going to
to.
make him pray. He just left because he didn't want.
Well,
Well, okay then. You got any great Christmas stories to share? I've done most of the talking.
Oh, that's okay. You're a good talker. I'm a good listener. Hey, I have no problem with that. Yeah.
We're going to need a replacement for Sam. Is there anybody in the building?
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Get in here now.
So what do you want for Christmas, Liz?
Just a happy, healthy family.
Isn't that the truth? Like this
Yeah.
year more than any other
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I feel actually on the way over here, I thought to myself, I'm really tired. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth because my filter goes away when I'm tired. I don't really have a filter, but it's worse when I'm tired. And I thought, I actually feel guilty. I feel guilty because we have been healthy. My whole family has made it through this year. We all still have jobs. I had money to spend on Christmas. We're going to get together for Christmas. And I'm just like, God, I feel so guilty. And that's what I think prompted this whole, I'm going to try to be more generous this year. Like I'm going to really try that. And when you're German, that's hard to do because we like to hold on to things.
They're so stoic and stubborn.
Yeah.
Yes. Just like the Norwegians, the Swedes, and the Finlanders.
Oh, that's right. So I should maybe start saying Northern European instead of just
Europeans,
German.
yeah,
Because, yeah, we're all like that. And,
Yeah.
and I was raised by parents that grew up in the Depression. And so I have this kind of like limited good mentality. Like, you can't use this up because then it'll be gone. But that's not how this works at
Yeah.
all. And I just proved it to myself a couple times this week already, which is pretty amazing. So, John,
what's up?
do you have one thing that your family does for Christmas every year without fail?
Not really. It's kind of interesting because, it's just me and most of the time here in town, kids. So we're all just older. We don't really get together.
You don't have any like nieces and nephews yet?
Nope.
We
So
got to
it's
get
just me and
John
the boys.
married off.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got to get him a girlfriend
Oh.
here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
your parents are like, when are we going to ever have grandkids?
That happens.
That's when Christmas becomes so cool again.
Mm-hmm.
Like your kids are gone and you're like, this isn't any fun anymore.
Yeah. So
Till you have
I mean,
grandkids.
like this year, it's going to be very quiet. I think my dad's out of town. So he's going down to Arizona. He's just taking vacation.
He's leaving your mom behind?
Yeah. Well, she's leaving 3 days out.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure because I would have to have words with him.
Yeah. She's leaving a couple days after. So, it's like, my family's always been, my mom's always been in retail. And then also me and my brothers, all, for several years were in retail as well. And my oldest brother still is in retail. So that kind of makes it hard
Yeah.
to schedule things, and, it's nice that stuff is closed Christmas Day, but nothing's closed
Afterwards,
Christmas Eve
right.
or, the day after. So family celebrations, we just get together when we can and just try to have a meal. I think my brothers will be home at some point. I'm not really sure which day. But
Yeah, we
we'll make
never
it
have.
happen.
We never have Christmas on Christmas anymore either. My kids have split families, and so they've got 5 Christmases to go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And so I have decided a long time ago, it's okay that it's not on Christmas. We can
Mm-hmm.
have Christmas whenever we're
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind
what
of how
matters, right?
every major
Are you going to go
holiday
down
is.
to Arizona for Christmas dinner, though? That is the question.
Well, they tried to get me to go. But
But we need you here.
yeah, pretty much. I was like, I don't know if I can leave right now.
Oh,
So I
yes.
was like, nah, I'll get there one day. I'll get a week off sometime.
Oh, good luck with that.
But I'll probably get to make Christmas dinner this year, which I love to cook
I know you do.
sometimes.
And hey, that's what we're going to talk about in tomorrow's episode
Yeah, I think
of
so.
the Red Sea Road, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
Cooking.
we should get on with that because it's my favorite subject. So, hey, so it's Liz's turn to close us in prayer, Miss Liz.
Oh, well,
You can take a minute.
okay. Dear Father, I'm going to cry.
It's okay to cry, too.
I know. Thank you. Thank you for all the traditions that you give to us, that we use to give glory to you. Help us in continuing these glorious traditions that we carry out with family and friends. And our friends are sometimes our family. So be with us during this holiday season, wherever we are, and whenever we can get together. In his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And hey, join us tomorrow for another episode of the Red Sea Road. You can find us on Charity's website at charitylutheran.org. Is that correct? Podbean? BeanPod?
Podbean, podbean.com. Actually, I think it's like Charity Lutheran. I should check that real quick.
It's charitylutheran.org, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you can go to the main website. But
Are we going to have our
also-
own page pretty soon, right?
Yeah, if you go to charitylutheran.podbean.com, we're on there too.
Awesome.
We do
awesome.
put up the videos on YouTube and that other website, Facebook.
Oh, yeah, Facebook. The
So-
one that listens to me.
And we are on
Yeah, wherever you are.
the glorious Spotify as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. If you have any questions, you can always call the church. We're here for you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Adios.